So today, I'm going to be doing something very different from anything I have ever honestly done before, but I'm quite excited, and if you do, of course, like today's video, hit the like button, let me know, and we may do some more of these. We'll see. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Char, and welcome back to another video on the channel today. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. This is a very different video, and based on whatever the title may be, you may have already figured out, or it may already be pretty apparent what I'm doing today, but I am officially doing my first, I think this is probably my first, like, proper tech review on the channel. No, I'm not becoming a tech review channel. I will still obviously be Minecraft forever and always. You know, it's my home, it's my place to be. But I got a really interesting email, and I just had to take this company up on this offer because I really wanted to just check this item out. So today, I'm going to be reviewing the BenQ Screen Bar e-reading lamp. So throughout this video, I should hopefully have a bunch of different cinematic shots or different close-up shots of certain things that I did while I talk about, obviously, you know, the specs or how this works and all the features that, obviously, the screen bar does have. Now, you're probably thinking, now, Char, why a screen bar? Why are you reviewing why? And yeah, it might seem a little bit out of the box, but actually, to me, when I looked at it, I felt like there was some really easy connections I could make as a user of this, and even to a lot of you guys on the channel. Now, it's not your conventional lamp. Like, you gotta think about it this way, right? How often do you try and fit a desk lamp on your desk and fail miserably? Because I know I have experienced this many times. I have actually even had a desk that was so bad and the lamp was so heavy that my desk literally went like this, because of the weight of everything that I have on this desk. And on top of that, I also have a lot of equipment on my desk. So to fit an actual physical lamp on my desk became quite a difficult task. And I just want to note that this video isn't actually sponsored by BenQ in any way. They have not paid me to do this. They were very kind to send me the product, obviously, to check out and to review on the channel. But at the end of the day, I've had quite a few companies approach me in the past to do the same thing. And I've actually turned down a lot of offers. The one reason that I really picked this particular item to review is because I really do feel like it is something that I would genuinely add to my setup and actually put to quite good use. So honestly, first impressions opening up the package, really well put together, super neat. A lot of the times when you get shipped a package like this, you kind of expect it to just be in small partitions in the box, which yes, it was, but I do really feel like in terms of actual like presentation of the packaging, it was really different from anything I'd actually seen before, and it was really well presented. Now that may be because there's less things in the box, but also I just feel like they went the extra step to make it, you know, easy to see, easy to read, and easy to kind of understand everything that is in the box. And just, I don't know, I just think they did a good job at presenting it, and that's my honest opinion. My first impressions actually getting this screen bar out of the box, honestly, it was really not as big as I expected it to be. I thought it was going to span the whole length of my monitor, because my monitor is about 27 inches, so I thought maybe it would go about that far. I would say that it would probably fit on one of these side screens of mine, which are 24.5s, really easily, and still not even fill out the full length. This honestly has to go down as one of the easiest to put together things I've ever taken out of a box. It was literally the most simple thing. I didn't even check if there was really instructions. I just sort of went, that's pretty obvious, that slots in that, and then you plug it in. Like, literally, I took this off the top of my monitor and unplugged it just to prove to you how easy it was to put together. It was like this weight, the actual screen bar, and then I just plugged it in, and I was away. We were ready to go. Now, to give you guys a bit of an explanation as to what the 4 buttons here up on the touch bar actually are, so we have power, auto dimmer, we also have the hue adjustment right here, and then we also have the manual dimmer. So this will do your own brightness. This will change the warmth for the light to obviously your warm light, your bright white light. I believe this will sort of detect the light levels in the room, because this actually has auto dim or light and brightness adjustment to actually stop any eye damage, stuff like that when you're in the room. So if you're in a very dark room, obviously having a really bright amount of lights around you is really bad for your eyes. It's very sensitive. It can cause a lot of eye strain for your eyes to be around such like a contrast of lights or darkness and brightness. So this actually will help you out in actually combating that. And if you're like me, you do very late nights, night owl sessions of gaming, then this will definitely help you out on top of that as well. So in terms of actually plugging this in, I didn't really mention this, but it literally is USB powered, and you can plug it into the back of a monitor if you actually have a USB port. I actually have, I believe, 2 on this one, 2 on this one, and possibly 1 or 2 on this one. I actually decided to plug it into my side monitor, which was all right. The only problem I did find with doing this, though, is that the monitor had to physically be switched on, obviously, to obviously get power to it. Now, you're probably thinking, well, duh, obviously, but what I mean is the screen actually had to be turned on, or my light kept turning off on my on my screen bar, which was a bit of a shame because for me, if I'm playing Nintendo Switch or something, I'm only using the middle screen, so the 2 screens on the side tend to go onto sleep mode. Now you're probably saying, we'll plug it in the middle one. I guess I could, but at the same time as well, if, you know, for the purpose of if you were doing work and you weren't necessarily using the computer, or say you were just sitting reading a book at your desk and you wanted to light up the desk, do work, or read a book, or do some studying. If your lights or if your screens went into sleep mode, or if your PC went into sleep, I believe if it's anything like what I experienced, it would turn the light off, which to me seems a little bit ineffective. Maybe you could USB plug it into, I have a USB port under my desk, or plug it into the PC directly, and I guess you probably wouldn't then have that problem. But of course, you may need a longer cable to do that, so it is honestly just down to personal preference and how you obviously have your monitors and your PC set up. I mean, as you can see down here, I actually have quite a selection of books, so for me, I'm very excited to actually sit at my desk and read, because it gets to a point where I do actually have a lamp up here on my bookshelf, but obviously it's kind of coming down from behind me, so I'm blocking a certain amount of the light right in front of me, so to read or to write something down or to just want my desk specifically lit up, it is quite ineffective, and it only really lights up the back of the room. So honestly, in my head, I was thinking, how can this light up my desk, and how is this not going to cause a problem with my screens? It actually has anti-glare. So the screen bar doesn't actually glare off of your screens, which is actually quite useful, obviously, if you want to game, or if you're obviously lighting up your desk and for really just gaming, honestly. I do feel like that, another thing, is that this is so applicable to so many different groups. Gamers, people who are obviously doing business stuff, people who are students and stuff like that as well. But you're probably thinking, well, how does this work? So the way that the light actually reflects out and that the screen bar is actually built underneath is that the light is only ever coming directly forward like that out from your screen. So it's not actually glaring back, like say if you had a lamp, and the lamp would obviously, you know, rotate the light round this way and just glare all over your screens and just ruin the whole experience unless you had the lamp directly behind your entire setup. It really just is a really nice, simple, slick design too, and it just is not intrusive to my setup at all. I thought, oh, having a bar on top of my screen, you know, maybe it'll get a little bit in the way, but it really doesn't. It just sits up on top of my screen, out of the way, and it's a really slick, thin black design, which goes pretty much with my entire setup. I have slick, thin, black bordered monitors, and it really does just simply fit in the perfect way. And on top of that, I'm really not worried about how sturdy it is, because the weight is extremely well built, and so is the entire way that the whole thing is clipped in as well. I don't feel like it would really go anywhere, and even to a degree where I'm shaking my desk right now, obviously the camera's sort of moving, the screen bar totally still, absolutely no problems. The monitor's shaking, but the screen bar has gone nowhere. So I've probably gone about this video in a very weird way in explaining it, but there are so many points I have written down that I honestly just sort of word vomit them all out, and that's just how it is sometimes. But my one concern was I have a very big desk, a pretty decently big desk. My desk is 80 centimeters deep and is 1.6 meters wide. So I thought, okay, this surely isn't going to light up my desk space for me. It's going to light up probably primarily around my mouse mat and my keyboard, and that'll probably do it. I was very pleasantly surprised by this. I was extremely surprised. It actually lit up the whole majority of the front portion of my desk that it was pointed at. Like, I saw the light go from this side to this side, and it was very well lit, to the point where my camera, I had to use my 16mm lens to get the full wide angle shot of it. So it may be a little, you know, it doesn't handle the light as well as this lens does, since this is a pricier lens. To be honest with you, it looked bright. It reflected off things very, very bright. If it was a very dim light and it wasn't doing its job, my camera wouldn't have struggled to deal with the high exposure that was bouncing off my white keyboard. It would have probably honed in on it a lot better. I mean, yeah, granted, it was nighttime, but my point being, it was bright. I was very happy with it. Even on the warm setting, I felt like it was really, really bright and really cozy and roomy, and I really liked just the whole aura, the whole vibe I was getting from my setup, whether it was just like sharp, bright white light, getting to work, doing productive stuff, or just being more chilled and having the warm light on and just wanting to sort of mellow out on my desk in the late night. To be quite frank, I feel like this would be a product that would be really useful for not just people who obviously work from home a lot, not just even gamers, but also specifically students. And if you're out there, I guess the one turn away that I will talk about next is probably the price. But if you're a student and say you go between your home a lot and your accommodation, I guess maybe not so much at the moment, but if you were traveling and you took your setup to different places, or you were moving from a dorm to a house or anything like that, this is a really easy thing to move with you. You don't have to clunk around a giant lamp if you don't want. And when you want to work at your desk, you don't have to worry about space. Space is an issue when you're a student. Space, having a small dorm, I didn't go to uni, but I've seen where my brother lived, and he did not have a lot of space in a dorm at uni. And so if you have something that can simply clip to the top of a monitor, that is going to save you a lot of time, and also going to be very, very useful for when you're doing your work or you're studying or anything like that, your dissertation, your coursework, your assignment. I don't know, but it's going to help you out. Like I said, price is sort of a factor with this. If you are a student, maybe the price isn't the most applicable point to you here because it does come out on a bit of a pricier side. I think it's about £90 UK. I do personally feel like the product could be cheaper. Maybe say 70, I feel like is maybe more reasonable, but it is well built. So yeah, it might not be the best thing for a student to buy, but honestly, if you did get it from the get-go, it would save you a lot long-term in my opinion, because it's a USB powered light. You'd have to buy a lamp outright, obviously, buy the base of it. Then you'd have to buy bulbs. Then when the bulbs run out, you'd have to buy more bulbs and more and more. And over time, to be honest, you would probably get your money back quite easily from having this, as opposed to having a physical light, physical lamp, and something that you'd have to consistently buy bulbs for. So going back to the point about the price point, and if you are obviously interested in this product, then this might be quite useful to you. But they do actually have a promotion going on at the moment until the very end of the month. If you use the code WITZOT13, you can actually get yourself, I can assume what I believe is 13% off, which is a decent chunk of the price actually off the product. So if this is something you're interested in, I definitely recommend checking it out, applying the code, and seeing what you can obviously grab yourself while the promotion's on, because it's very useful, and it does help you out. So those are pretty much most of my pros. I know I did put a couple cons in there, but just to kind of address what I didn't like about the product, because this is an honest review. At the end of the day, yes, they sent me something to review, and I'm very grateful for that, but I wouldn't be doing this video if I didn't believe that what I should say is the honest truth. So the one thing I did find with this, there was a couple things. The price was kind of my main con to it, really, or not, I guess my second con, really, that I found. I feel like it could have been a bit cheaper. I do feel like my main, and if this is my main issue, I guess, then I guess they're doing pretty well. But I did find that the cable in the actual back of the screen bar, not the USB side to whatever you're plugging into, the actual cable side, I don't know why, but mine was just very, very tight. It was a little bit hard to get in to begin with. And then when I tried to pull it out, it honestly was, the resistance was unreal. I couldn't get the cable out. Maybe I'm a bit of a weakling. Okay, look, I'm a gamer, so I guess it makes sense. But if you actually watch one of the clips, I don't know if I'm overlaying it right now, but I go to pull the cable out and I have to keep wiggling the cable. And you actually see, as I finally pull it out, the distance that it pulls out at, you can tell the force I was having to apply to pull this cable out. And I guess that's a good and a bad thing. It's kind of annoying if you want to move it, because it was a bit of a deterrent to actually wanting to move it if it's just going to be a nightmare to pull the cable out. But I guess in a way, at least you know the cable isn't going to come loose if you move your monitor or anything like that. So it's a pro and a con. So I guess it's not the world's biggest issue. Maybe I'm being a little bit nitpicky there. But to be fair, overall, I do think they did a very good job with this. It seems sturdy. It seems super easy to use. Like the whole setting side of it all, it really is just so easy. I really didn't have to read up on it much to understand what I was doing with it. So to summarize, it is very good. And really, I only had 3 issues with it, which was just I was having issues with the screen, turning it on and off, the cable being a bit tight, and I guess like the price a little bit. But you know what? It's a reasonable price in some respects for the quality of what it is. And I can understand where they're coming from with a product like this. I guess, again, like I said, long term, I probably spent that much on lamps and bulbs in the past, so I can't really deny if I've got something that's long lasting that can help me out like that, you know, it's fair enough. I'm happy with it, dude. It's going to be a permanent part of my setup. It's not just something that I'm reviewing and putting away in a box and not going to do anything with ever again. This is legitimately going to stay on my desk because I do have LEDs, I do have RGBs and stuff under the desk, and I do like them, but they don't necessarily light my desk up when I want to actually just, you know, have some actual brightness around my setup instead of just being in the dark and having bright screens on me. So I'm quite excited to use this further. A lot of the footage I did in the cinematic stuff was actually filmed at night because I wanted it to be the most realistic, you know, view of the lighting and how it's actually doing and performing, because if I did it in the daytime like this, it would be kind of pointless to test the brightness of it because it really wouldn't be true with the natural light coming in. I hope you guys still enjoyed this video today. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, thank you so much for sending this screen bar to me. I actually really enjoyed doing something different with a review today. I know this might be a bit of a longer video depending on how I cut this up, But I'm excited to see what you guys think of this. I'll leave all the respective links to the product and obviously to BenQ as well down below, so you can go and check them out. Check out the screen bar, and I'll also link the coupon code, I guess it is called, down below if you guys do want to use that and apply that and see what the official full discount is on what you guys are buying there. Thank you once again for watching. I hope you have had a great day. Subscribe if you want to see more. Obviously hit the like button too. I'm doing this, so I'm saying subscribe, but hit the like button. Let me know if you want to see me do more of these. We'll see what we can do. Obviously, I'm only ever going to pick things or reach out to companies that I believe have a good place on the channel and can bring something that we can all enjoy and get some good use out of as a group. And honestly, at a time like this, being able to obviously work from home with something like this is really useful for all of the students out there who currently can't go back. Remember, guys, stay safe. It is really, really important. You know, just we're getting there. We're hanging on. We're all staying inside, and hopefully we'll get back to some normality very, very soon. Guys, I'm Char. I love you all. Have an amazing rest of your day. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.